Last time I talked about this aquarium, we got it all cleaned up, and then I added a bunch of these super cool corals to it. I asked the question, what corals do you want to see me put into this aquarium? And a few people responded, and I really do appreciate that. One person in particular said, hey, you should put an anemone in there. And that got me thinking, I really haven't talked about anemones. And this is going to be more about bubble tip anemones because I think these are probably the most common anemones in the hobby, and a lot of people buy them and enjoy them. A lot of people get anemones because of this relationship between anemones and clownfish that's super unique, and it's really interesting to watch. Anemones are also very animated. You can watch them capture food and eat it, and sometimes they'll even move around your aquarium. Bubble tip anemones do have some downsides, though. They absolutely will sting and kill other coral, and they will also multiply like crazy in the right environment. And here's some photos of a tank that I had set up a couple years ago to illustrate my point. I added one bubble tip anemone to this tank, and it turned into approximately 30 in about 2 years. And that was all accomplished by just adding one single bubble tip anemone. I got into this hobby simply because I wanted clownfish. And then I found out about this whole entire world of growing coral, which I didn't even know was possible at the time. That led me down the path of wanting to get an anemone for my clownfish. And like I was saying, it is super interesting to watch. Some people make it seem like bubble tip anemones are really hard to care for, and I don't really agree with that. If you have a newer tank, you might have some difficulties keeping anemones because they do tend to like more mature systems. And just like coral, they want stable water parameters. So as long as you're able to provide that environment for them, they should do perfectly fine. Sometimes you might notice your anemone shrunken or deflated looking. That's completely fine. That's something that anemones do from time to time. Especially if they've just eaten something, they'll look deflated because they're expelling the waste from their body. This by no means is a video telling you not to get a bubble tip anemone. If you find them really interesting, go ahead and get one. All I'm trying to do is warn you about what possibly can happen by putting an anemone into your reef tank. If you already have a bunch of coral in there that you really care about, it might not be the best thing to do. If you want to learn more about reef tanks, consider subscribing. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time.